going to happen and in what order. And I know if I'm working for ITV that there has to be a commercial break twice. So you write a 3-act play. And I just leap in, and I don't make it up. It's a curious thing to describe, but I know, for example, I know Trevor and Jill so well, I could put them into any situation and just listen to what they say, and I copy it down. I mean, I hear them talking, and I just write down what they say.
And having been trained as an architect, you presumably, even though you're rather laughing at your architectural prowess or lack of it, but you presumably have a very precise mind, a very crisp and accurate...
Yeah, I think I've got a sure sense of structure, and also quite a strong visual sense, because I can draw a bit and I know what the picture should look like. I know that, I mean, what keeps my hand together is that there are bones inside, and what keeps a play together is that there are sort of bones inside, which are the plot, which are developments of character, which are, you know, incidents and so on.
Well, Alan, thanks very much for the moment. We're going to take a break there, but do stay with us, because in part 2 we'll be discussing Selwyn Froggatt, J.B. Priestley and Old Mother Riley. How's that for a trio? Stay with us. Thank you, and welcome back, where we're talking to the writer Alan Plater, who's created some very memorable images for Yorkshire over the last few years. And you've created a great character with the unlikely name of Selwyn Froggatt. Now, where would we all be without Selwyn Froggatt? Now, how on earth did this character burst onto our screen?
It's all Bill Maynard's fault, as it was actually Bill's notion to do a series about this character. There was a pilot episode written originally by Roy Clarke of Last of the Summer Wine fame, and when the series came up, Roy wasn't available, and I'd done Trinity Tales, a series with Bill for the Beeb, and he said, it's a sort of barroom chat, do you fancy doing a sitcom? And I said, yeah, that sounds like fun, and it was almost as casual as that.
Right, well, let's just... I can't wait to see him again, actually. Let's just I'm sure we'll do. Let's just see the title sequence and the opening few moments of one of the episodes. I think the very first episode. The very first episode.
Historic importance.
Of Oh No, It's Selwyn Froggatt.
Selwyn Froggatt is his name, never mind. Digging is his game, never mind. He is like a human mole when he digs a hole, and he'll drive us up the pole, but never mind.
On the old Claymore bar, cha-cha-cha. On the old Claymore bar, cha. Well, that's odd. That's the treasure. Ha-ha! There, Jim lad. Let me pick.
He stands out on his own, never mind. He's accident prone, never mind. Though he makes your blood run cold, and you think he's brash and bold, he has got a heart of gold. So never mind.
I'll have a nice big one with onions, please.
Now, that was written with Bill in mind, was it?
Yes, but the different thing, if I can compare Bill with Les Dawson, Les was punctilious about script. Bill, the script was kind of a basis for negotiation. And We had a lot of fun doing it, and a lot of it involved, you know, what can he run into this week, or what can he crash or break. The point about Selwyn is actually a very simple one, that his sort of psychology is of a 10-year-old wrapped up in this man's body. And I think a couple of things about this series that I'm quite proud of in retrospect, that it was a sitcom. The second series got to #1 in the ratings, which I didn't know till the newspaper rang up and told me so. We did it without any swearing and without any sex jokes, any double entendres, none of that. Not because I disapprove of things like that, but because it was not appropriate to the character. So it had this wonderful innocence about it, and the guy is an innocent, total innocent, and that was quite engaging to be involved with. I thought Bill just took it on, and I was with Bill at the Rugby League Cup final at Wembley, I think the year after that second series, and we were on VIP tickets. I cannot tell a lie. We were on VIP tickets, Rugby League final at Wembley, and the entire crowd round the box where we were all got up and started chanting magic at him, and it was weird and a bit scary.
Yeah, that was that magic.
Yes, had all of that.
Yeah, I suppose, like all catchphrases, that happened by accident.
Yeah, Bill turned up with it, you know, which I think he'd got from it. Someone's actually based on a guy that Bill knew in Leicestershire, and he used to do that. I mean, he was. I met him. I mean, it was. And after, I mean, it's tales out of school, but it's not hurting anyone. After the first episode, Peter, on whom this Selwyn was based, said, "Yeah, Bill, it was very good, but you got something wrong." And Bill said, "What did we get wrong?" He said, "I'm left-handed."
Well, Bill Maynard, of course, portraying a Yorkshireman, although he is not a Yorkshireman, but he portrayed a good old-fashioned earthy Yorkshireman. Yes. Crusty old Yorkshireman, but one that everyone admires, of course, is J.B. Priestley,
the archetype.
Son of Bradford, of course. Now, you, a different role here, because here you're an adapter. The Good Companions, classic novel, film of it, of course, stage play, but here you adapted it for television. Yeah. Great, huge novel.
Bit thick book, yeah, but great joy to do, a lot of fun. I actually felt that we didn't quite get it right, actually. But,
why?
I think having opted to do it as a musical, which was obviously tremendous fun and quite demanding, I felt there were moments when the music got in the way of the story, and I think that I think that stopped it being.
But that's always the case in any musical. When someone suddenly bursts into song in a perfectly modulated voice, that's always the suspension of disbelief in any narrative with music, isn't there? Surely
that happens, but you don't notice that handbrake going on if it's really motoring properly. I just felt occasionally we ground to a halt while we stopped and sang a song.
OK, well, let's have a look. This is, again, the opening title sequence, which I think is rather nice. And also, there's a bit of your interview that you did with the great man himself, J.B. Priestley. So
this should be really embarrassing.
Equivalent of a bestseller in the theatre, i.e. having a big success with a play, somehow healthier than being a best-selling novelist, or is it just different?
Rather different atmosphere, of course. It's the temperature is higher, in the theatre, and it's a great deal more exciting because you can go there and hear the audience applaud.
Yes.
The author of the novel, the novelist, doesn't hear the audience applaud.
Did you enjoy the company of actors?
Up to a point, you know. Yes, up to a point. And I like actors. I have a natural sympathy with them. There's something very gallant to me about actors. I don't say I'd want to spend all my time with them, but I have a great sympathy with them.
The rehearsal is a great fad of mine. It's not a fad, really.
What?
With the British theatre as a whole is under-rehearsed.
Had you got some people who...
J.B. Priestley has always involved himself in his own productions, observing, no doubt, that for a writer, it's much more fun than working.
That was a great character, wasn't he?
He was lovely, yes. We did the interview at the place he lived, which was just outside of Stratford. And we said to him, "Do you like living here?" He said, "Good enough for Shakespeare, good enough for me." It was a pretty good answer. But you see, what people didn't realise was he said it in that peculiar Yorkshire way that says, "I know I'm making a joke." And I think that was a problem that some non-Yorkshire people, or non-Northerners, have with Northerners, that they don't always realise when we're joking, because we don't hoist a big signal saying, "Look out, folks, here comes a joke."
Did he trust you with the script? I mean, did he want to see what you'd done, or did he say, "Now look, lad, don't you mess around with my great work"?
I asked